Good evening. My name is Tremani Hutchison. I go by Perfect. I'm a performing arts major. I am a sophomore currently attending Johnson C. Smith's class of 2025. The things we will cover today are why I chose this topic, story time, which is a little story about me, the different types of self-esteem, the theme of this whole entire speech, why self-esteem is important, more into details about self-esteem, just getting more into depth about the self-esteem, and then that'll be my conclusion and we'll be done. Let's get started. So the reason why I chose this topic will also tie into just my story altogether. So I chose this topic because honestly, I'm personally dealing with self-care and self-love issues for myself. And I wanted to show the world how self-esteem is really important, especially to our mental health, and how it can affect a person's mental health and a person's physical health. Story time. So about a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, before I graduated in high school, COVID-19 came about. I was a regular girl. I'm still a regular girl. I was really confident. I had a lot of confidence. Nobody could really take that away from me. I always thought that I can do anything I put my mind to. I can become anybody I want to be, just being a great person and doing what I have to do to pursue my dreams. And nobody could bring me down. Anything anybody said or just things in general could never bring me down. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. COVID came. I changed schools. I was at a very more articulate school, and then I switched to a more, with low test scores, different things like that. When I started going to that school, I thought immediately, like, okay, this isn't going to be good for me. I changed schools when I was younger, but I never really changed schools between the time of elementary and high school. So it was a bit different. I had to adjust to it. 4 days in, COVID came. Boom. So I'm going to school during COVID. The 4th day I was in school, I had to leave, never came back again. School is online. I'm thinking, this is going to be the easiest thing I ever do. But in reality, it was really easy, but it was kind of hard as well because, I'm sitting at home, I'm doing work virtually at home, being able to lay in my bed and do work there and not be able to have to get up in the morning, get all dressed, get up at 6 a.m. and go get on the bus. I didn't have to do that. I pretty much had Canvas. It was easy. It was so good. But I was so used to the school way of how we got up. We were so routine, got up, went to school, do the work, boom. It was easy. It was like that. So I managed to get a scholarship throughout this time period of COVID. I managed to get a scholarship, and with my scholarship, I came to college. And that's how I chose Johnson C. Smith's University. So once I got here my 9th grade year, it was a challenge because for the past 2 years, my junior year and my senior year, I had been online virtually. So I had to adjust myself to go back to class and just get up, actually have to do the work, things like that. But in the mix of that kind of messed me up in a way because honestly, I was lazy. I was really lazy. I didn't want to get up and go to class. Even though I had to, and I know that I had to, I still didn't get up and go to class. So it got to the point where it was really bad and I ended up failing. I was failing my classes because I was being really lazy. And that is a lack of self-care. I also had times where it was within this period, I had met friends in college. They turned on me, and it was really bad for me, and now it's hard for me to let people in, and that goes with a lot of self-love. I always ask myself, like, what do I do wrong? Like, what did I do to them for them to treat me this way? And that's where my self-love came in, and then depression and anxiety. Like, this stuff is really serious, honestly, and that's pretty much my story of why I chose this topic, and also story time. Now, what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is pretty much how we value and perceive ourselves. There are 3 different types of self-esteem. There's healthy self-esteem, low self-esteem, and excessive self-esteem. Social media, interpersonal relationships, and COVID-19 can negatively impact the self-esteem. Low self-esteem creates mental and physical health problems. For instance, during COVID, moms didn't work as much. So since parents didn't work as much. Since parents couldn't work as much, sometimes they didn't have money to pay bills. And since they didn't have the money to pay bills, they can be a little grumpy inside. It's really frustrating because how can you do what you want to do or what you need to do to move on with life? And so that can affect a younger person, especially somebody that's going to college. That can affect them really bad because they don't know, because they're like, my parents are treating me really bad. Like, they're being mean. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to act. What will I do? And that can affect somebody's mental health. Also, it can affect your physical health as well. Why is having low self-esteem important? Low self-esteem is really just your inner self talking to you, giving you self-doubt. This is important because it can cause depression, anxiety, as I said previously. Having low self-esteem can trigger drug abuse, alcohol consumption. Sometimes people feel like they can't do it, so they have to use drugs, or sometimes they just want to use it. It can heal you temporarily. It can't heal you at all, but it can give you temporary pain loss, and that's it. That's all. It's just a temporary thing, and when you do it, it's all gone afterwards. I want to give you a little bit more information about self-esteem. Things that I learned while researching. Researchers say having low self-esteem can affect one person's mental health. Lack of self-love and self-care can also affect someone's self-esteem, because if you don't have self-love, then you don't have anything. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you do anything else or put your love into anything else? That also can go with relationships. That's why I say interpersonal relationships, because with interpersonal relationships, you have to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself enough, you can't love anybody else in a good way. Researchers also say parents or people you expect to help build you up and build your self-esteem actually break down and cause low self-esteem. People usually say your parents are supposed to be the ones that support you 100%. Some people, parents don't support you 100%. Some people, parents are jealous. Sometimes they can down you or make you feel lower than what you really are. That's why you have to love yourself enough so you can bring yourself up higher. In conclusion, low self-esteem can affect a teen's mental and physical health. Having low self-esteem can cause abuse, not only physical but mental and emotional abuse. If anyone is going through depression, anxiety, or lack of self-love, speak up. And I will end with a quote. Quiet that voice of doubt inside of you. You are good enough. You do deserve good things. You are smart enough. You are worthy of love and respect. You are amazing just the way you are. By Lori Faye. Thank you.